said, "Go, Jimmy, go. Go, Jimmy, go." Well, I talked her off the floor when she said,
and coming across, get some of the Valveson area, jungle valve, other small valves here, and the Kabama's in the back there. The three jumbo cardinals aren't so jumbo now that I look at them, but we lost the first one the day we put them in there, and they're doing well.
And right in the background
and of
there
course we have
are some of the cardinals that we got. They had a new shipment in, so they didn't have much color yesterday, and we added a dozen cardinals to the 3 larger cardinals that we picked up at Discus Madness last week, if you remember. And so right now you can see there's that betta that I always talk about. It's got the iridescent. Sure. What we're going to have to do is to do the same type of thing for this particular tank, because as you can see it's pretty much overgrown at this point, which the fish are fine with. But it does get to a point where you can only replant so many plants, so may take the time. And you see that upside down catfish in the center. He's huge. You very seldom see him out. See a bunch of the small angels up toward the top there. We've lost a couple angels in recent weeks, like 3 of them. But look at the size of him, huh? And so it is time to come and part. That big catfish that you just saw has, after 17 years of growth, has become too expensive to feed with those cardinals, cardinal tetras. I mean, literally, that was $40 worth of fish that disappeared in 2 days. And we saw him today going after another fish. We finally said, hey, you know, it's time. He doesn't belong in this tank. And so we reached out to Hidden Reef, and they take back fish like that and give you credit for it. And so we decided we'd give him a new home. Somebody who's got a bigger tank and appreciates the size of that fish. He started out as a very small, probably about 2 inches upside down catfish, as we call them. And often he was upside down, but as you saw in the video before, he just comes out once in a while and swims around. So here was the challenge. How are we going to get him out of this tank without totally uprooting the whole tank? Well, I've had some experience with this before, especially with Ray's big pleco. And so it was going to be a task, a challenge. And so I went ahead and prepared for the chase, and literally knew we were going to have to replant this whole tank when we got through, and hopefully didn't rip off too many leaves and chasing him around, etc. So here was my idea. Once before I had used this same technique, and Ray had given me a butterfly net years ago, believe it or not. And we had time trying to catch the same fish, I think, when we had to move the tank or whatever. And so I came up with the idea, after frustratingly not being able to catch them, of laying this net along the front of the tank here in the water, okay? And then I just reached in and disturbed him, and he went swimming right down into that net. Took all 10 seconds, uprooted no plants, and with that we had him. Happen to have a container that we can put them in, and so this tank now has just 1 cardinal tetra left. And I have to admit, I was kind of tempted today when I was over at Hidden Reef, finding him a new home, to maybe get some more, but I thought, you know, let's wait a while. And lo and behold, the guy who took the fish in for us was really very pleasantly admiring that fish. Is this one's beautiful? Wow, I think I'm going to buy this one for myself. So I don't know what kind of credit we're going to get for it. It doesn't make any difference as long as it gets a nice new home. And so instead we bought 10 red wag platies. They add some color to this tank. Not as colorful as the cardinals, but a cheaper fish. And so parting with sweet sorrow, especially after 17 years of enjoying him. And so that's how we did it. A little butterfly net in a huge tank, and instead of chasing the fish, let the fish swim into the net. I hope that lesson helps you. This is the remaining one of the 3 supposedly jumbo that I paid $7 a piece for, and a dozen more that we paid $40 for. Well, no, they gave us $5 off because we bought the price of 10 for 12 fish. But either way, much more expensive food than I typically feed my fish.
And she said, "Go